Everyone, it's me again, Mick Cooper, 51 years old from Sheffield in the UK on my gastric sleeve journey. Well, it's been a few weeks since I gave you a little update. I think the last time we spoke, we were talking liquid diet. Well, I've done the liquid bit, I've done the pureed bit, and I'm now on the soft food part of my journey. There's quite a lot to talk about, so we'll crack on in a moment. If you do like these videos, click on subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. You can follow me if you must on Instagram, Mr. underscore boom underscore gastric. It's a crap name, but you know, it was a spare of the moment decision. So let's crack on with the rest of this video. So, let's talk about the puree stage briefly. What I was gonna do is show you what I've been eating on the pureed stage. But two things. One, I've used everything up that I had for the pureed stage. I didn't eat everything I made, but what was left I've thrown into a stew and made like a smooth food stew. But the other reason, the main reason, is everyone will get different advice from their dietitian, surgical team, bariatric team, call it what you want. So I think all you need to know is whatever your bariatric team and dietitian tell you to do, for goodness sake, stick to it, which is what I've done. So things like, like tins of big soup, the big soups or the Aldi equivalents or Tesco equivalents. They've basically got like meat, they've got potatoes, they've got vegetable in. You can have like beef, chicken, lamb, all those kind of things. What I was having a lot of for the puree stage was I would get one of those tins, I'd stick it in my NutriBullet. I would put 2 scoops, maybe 3 scoops, sort of 3 tablespoons of dried milk, skimmed powder, the Marvel stuff, and then I'd blitz it together to get it sort of as a puree. Because you've got to remember, you've gone from the liquid stage to the pureed stage. You can't rush these things. You can't be eating bits of potato and bits of carrot and bits of peas and things like that at this stage. Your stomach's really, really sort of still tender. It's healing. It does. It has to follow this route, because otherwise you're leaving yourself open to problems, and you don't want problems inside your stomach. We've had this surgery to have a better relationship with the stomach and learn to know when it's full. So if you're having a puree and your little tiny stomach, we'll say it's that big. I don't know how big it is really, but your food has to go in there, and eventually your stomach fills up more and more. The rule that I was told was sort of chew or sort of just mash around your mouth a little bit, and then after a minute have another teaspoon or about the size of your thumbnail. You don't want to be eating anything bigger than that, or a 20p piece, for example. Don't eat 20p pieces though. So you're eating that, and your stomach is gradually getting fuller and fuller and fuller. The moment that you feel full, stop eating. Don't think, oh, there's 3 or 4 teaspoons of food left in here, I'm going to eat it. Because that's the old mindset that we had, where we had to clear everything off our plate. So eat until you're satisfied, and don't eat for any longer than 20 minutes. The other bit that I really struggle with on the puree stages, you have to stop drinking liquids 20 minutes before you start to eat, and you can't then drink liquids until 20 minutes after you've eaten. Again, check with your bariatric team to see if it's the same. Some say 20, some say 30, so do whatever you're told. Don't listen to me, I'm just giving you an example of my journey. Other things that I've been eating on the pureed stage, I've made like a curry, and what I did then is basically stick that in the NutriBullet and sort of blitz it, so it's really like a thick soup. It's quite tasty. At this stage I'm not eating rice, so it is basically just a curry. I have pureed vegetables like green beans, spinach, carrots. I've made like mince and gravy, and I pureed those. Now, to get a portion, you don't want a lot. You know, you want to be having like 1 tablespoon of like your curry, 1 tablespoon of um, carrot, and you can probably put 1 tablespoon of spinach on. Again, it's down to your own tastes, but really at this stage, you don't want to be eating too much. If you want to introduce a few carbs, you don't want a lot of carbs. You want like a tablespoon of something like mashed potato, smash, or any other carb that you can liquidize. So you could, if you wanted to, get a low calorie beef lasagna, for example, you know, the healthy eating types. And then you blitz that down and you have 1 tablespoon of that with your food, and you'd have that instead of your curry. But again, listen to your own bariatric team. What I want to really focus on is telling you how I'm doing, sort of approaching, what is it, 42 days after surgery. So that's 6 weeks. I can't believe it's 6 weeks. So again, I'm not going to go over what I've been eating. I think it's important that we all have our own little journey on that. And there's lots of Facebook groups and lots of support where you can get advice on that. I want to share with you how I'm doing so you can see that this process really does work. Okay, ready for the next bit? So, I hear you all ask, how have you been, Mick? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm now approaching 6 weeks. That's right, 6 weeks post-op. I had my surgery on the 14th of November. I had a quick glance at the first video that I put up, which was before I went to meet the surgeon, before the liver reduction diet. And even I can notice that there's quite a big difference in my appearance. If you look at my neck, I've got less chins than I used to have, which is all good. I feel amazing. I know I always say my age at the beginning, 51. Prior to surgery, I'll be quite honest with you, I felt 71. Some days I was in so much pain with my knees, or my breathing wasn't great, or my heart was racing, or I just felt crap. You know, diabetes does some horrible things to your body. 6 weeks post-surgery, I feel maybe 40 years old, so that's 11 years better. I'm able to exercise to nothing too drastic at the moment. I'm kind of doing walking, lots and lots of walking. I was told by my surgeon not to go back to the gym until I've seen him on the 9th of January, and I've stuck to that. So my exercise, as I've said before, started at about 3,000 steps, went to 6,000, then 9,000, and then it went 12, 15, and I think one day I was crazy enough to do about 20,000 steps. That was a little bit too far. So my exercise now is roughly 7.5 miles a day. In kilometres, what's that, about 12 kilometres, 11 kilometres? Steps wise, I'm doing really well. I can feel that my clothes are hanging off of me. You know, they don't fit, they're not tight, they are like that, wrapping round. This, believe it or not, this Paddington duffel coat, when I started this journey before the liver reduction diet, it wouldn't even come close to fastening, and now it's way too big. I still haven't got weighed. I'm sort of defying my own what's the word, obsession with scales. I used to get weighed just about every day. Now, even when I was attending Slimming World, they used to tell us to just use the scales at group, and did I listen? No. I got weighed every day. Sometimes I get weighed twice a day. I get weighed after I've been in the gym, knowing that I'd lost sweat and knowing that that would give me a little boost. So I decided, along with advice from my dietitian, to skip the scales until the 9th of January. And it's bloody hard. It really is, because I know I'm losing weight, and I'm getting to the point now where I really want to know how much weight I've lost. But I did say I'd do it, and I'm going to stick to it. Um, After the 9th of January, I'll start getting weighed maybe every couple of weeks or something like that, so I can keep my own progress on that. Um, I'm I'm doing great. I really can't think of um, any major setbacks I've had, other than the other day my dad, who's elderly, fell. His carer, they're not allowed to pick him up. They called for the. He's got like a pendant round his neck. They called for this fall team where they're supposed to send two people out to help get my dad back, sat on his bed or in a chair. They sent one out. By the time I got there, one person had turned up. This guy was late 60s, I would think, and he said, I can't manage him on my own. Could you just support him under his arm? And I did say, I can't take any weight because I'm like 5 weeks out of surgery. So we started to lift him, and this guy just let all the weight come on me, and I felt a pull in my side, and I thought, oh, I've done something serious. It's still twinging a bit, apart from taking painkillers. I've not really done much else about it. When I go to see my surgeon in January, I'll let him check it out just to be on the safe side. But I think I'm all right. I think it's just a pull. There's no lump. There's no obvious signs of hernia or any of that stuff. So I think I'm okay. Um, I'm currently on the soft food stage. Um, and it's nice to be on it, because there's certain stuff that you couldn't have in the pureed stage that you can have now. For example, poached eggs, scrambled eggs. If you do it right, you can have a nice light fried egg if it's done in a way where there's not too much crispy on it. All I have to remember to do is chew my food, chew the food, and then keep to the 20 minutes beforehand, no liquids, 20 minutes after, no liquids, and then eat for no longer than 20 minutes. I'm still getting full. My portions have not increased that much. I'm doing really well on that. I'm eating things like, like really soft food, like fish in parsley sauce or butter sauce. I might have, you get them in the bags. I might have half of one of those. I'd then have some vegetables with it. So I might have carrots. Don't have to be pureed, just well cooked. I might have sprouts. Again, they don't have to be pureed, just well cooked. I made a casserole, a beef casserole yesterday. Used some prime beef casserole steak. I put in things like turnip. Well, not turnip. I call them turnips. Officially, they're called Swedes, but we always used to call them turnips. So, Swede, carrot, broccoli, cauliflower, sprouts, and I put some lentils in there as well. The one thing that you do with this sort of thing is you maybe overcook it. You can't be having your vegetables al dente. They have to be like how my grandma used to cook them. I think she used to put sprouts on in November for Christmas. So very, very soft vegetables. I can have things like, the tinned fruit pieces, like a fruit cocktail. There's all sorts of different Del Monte. Just make sure that they're in a fruit juice rather than in a light syrup. I might have half a tin of one of those with a spoon of low sugar custard on. It's a nice little alternative treat. I can eat cheese. Cheese is something that I'm encouraged to eat because it's quite high in protein, and if you get the right stuff, it's low in fat. The rule of thumb is if there's more than 5 grams of sugar per 100 grams, don't eat it. And if there's more than 5 grams of fat per 100 grams, don't eat it. You need to be getting protein, as much protein as possible. So I try and prioritize what I eat. I eat my protein first, and then I might eat my veg and my carbs if I have some mashed potato. I can have jacket potato and beans, which was, that was quite a nice treat. The only thing that I can't eat at the moment is the skin on the jacket potato, but it was nice to eat something with a little bit of texture because baked beans aren't just like pureed up. So that's all nice. And I'm just going to talk in the last bit about exercise moving forward after the 9th of January. When I go back and I see my surgeon and dietitian, one of the things that I'll be asking them is, will they clear me to go and exercise in a gym? Obviously, I've got to get this thing checked out to see if there's any damage with any muscle damage after lifting my dad up. I don't think there is, but I would like to err on the side of caution. If they give me the all clear, me and my mate Wayne, who's also my training partner, will be going to the gym. He will be making sure that I'm not overdoing it, because in the past I have got a bit of a tendency to go and just overtrain, whether it's weights, whether it's cardio. So he'll be keeping an eye on me, and I'm confident about that. I've also got a good friend who is also a personal trainer and a professional mixed martial artist. His name's Musa. I've mentioned him before. He's ready and raring to go with me in the gym to work on my core, work on strength, getting me fit. I can walk a long distance, but I've never been as strong. Like my core has always been bad. I've never had much muscle, so I'll be working on that. I hate doing weights. He knows that I hate doing weights, but he did start teaching me the basics of boxing before my knee got too bad. So we're going to go back to that, do some of that, mix things up a little bit, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's about it on the exercise. Like I say, stick to walking to start with. Don't try and do anything too physical. If you can swim, go swimming. I can't swim, so if I went, I'd drown. I'm not going to do that. So, but swimming is also a very good exercise once you get clearance from your doctor and team to do that. I've got one little bit at the end I'm going to talk about now, and that is the support that I've got and how vital that is in my journey. This is the last bit, I promise. Now, I talk a lot about this surgery not being a magic wand, a silver bullet, the answer to everything. All it does is it makes your stomach smaller, or if you're having a bypass, it bypasses your stomach and a little pouch is made for your food to go into. So it's not a one thing that fixes everything. There's a multitude of things that we all need for this to succeed. For me, I think that exercise is a big part of it that goes along with the surgery and sticking to the eating plan. There's also the psychology of food and why I ate what I ate. But part of that psychology is meeting other people. Now, okay, I've got the best two friends that anyone could ever wish for, Dawn and Wayne. They have been with me before, during, and after surgery, and I can talk to them about anything. But there is nothing like peer support when you're talking to people about what you're going through or how you're feeling. Dawn and Wayne can't really understand what's going on in my head or what's going on in my stomach, but people that I've met through Facebook, people that I've met through the online Zoom meetings that I've been attending, they get it, and they get it at a different level because they're either waiting to have the surgery, they've lived a life with obesity problems, they've either just had the surgery like me, or they might be a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line. I think meeting these people has been a massive help to my journey, to my recovery. I know that there's people that I could pick a phone up now, and it's, what is it, 2 a.m. They'd probably be a little bit pissed off with me, but if I phoned them or sent them a message at 2 a.m., the same as GA, Gamblers Anonymous, they'd reply. I think for them to share in my journey and for me to share in their journey is important. So if you're thinking of having this done, do the research, find the support groups, attend the Zoom meetings, attend face-to-face meetings. In your part of your country, there might be a face-to-face meeting for people that are having bariatric surgery. Who knows? Speak to your dietitians. But for those that I've met and those that I've got friendly with, and you know who you are, I think, we are doing great. We've got each other's backs, and it's like having an extra support that I didn't even know existed. So that's it. I'm going to stop rambling on now. I'm going to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I would think the next video that I do will be in January. It might just be January the 9th when I go up to see the surgeon and the dietitian. I can't believe that I've not got weighed, but I've not, and it's all very exciting. So I'm going to sign off now. Remember, if you like these videos, click subscribe, leave a like, leave a message, follow me on what's it called, Instagram, if you must. It is, I forgot my fucking Instagram name. Mr. _ boom _ gastric. Follow me if you wish. Anyway, good night, and remember, be seeing you.